The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 109. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of real women producing extraordinary results by finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook at our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan. And today I have a special lady all the way from Chicago. She is a dear friend of mine. You know, she is a phenomenal woman. She is a social media coach and trainer. And, you know, she's going to share her story on self-confidence. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Cindy Bloom. Cindy, how are you doing today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Sheena. I'm thrilled to be here. And yes, I'm coming to you from literally sub-0 degree weather in Chicago. It's like one of those days that I'm so thankful. Work from home and not have to go out in this crazy weather. Yeah, a little bit about myself. So like I said, I'm in Chicago suburbs. I have an elementary degree in teaching, and that was actually what I had always had a passion for actually teaching and helping others. But I walked away from teaching in the classroom when my son was born. That son now is 22 years old. So I haven't been in the classroom teaching since then. I also have two other boys, 19 and 15, and they're awesome kids, and they're wrestlers, and they have great mindset, and they really keep me busy. But it's really been about 5 years since I came online to start making money, and my husband has always been very successful, and I have been fortunate enough to be able to, stop teaching at when my son was young and be able to be a stay-at-home mom. But that was never me. So I always had another, let's say, job. But it wasn't a job. I started in a direct sales. I think the first thing I did was Discovery Toys. And I did that for a while, but I got tired of the home party thing. And then I worked at a computer learning training thing, and that place got sold. And then I worked at children's retail, and I worked in an office, and I always ended up quitting because I never felt fulfilled. So at one point after I had quit my last job because my father was ill and I was bored there, he passed away. My mother went to sell her house and move closer to us, in the Chicago area, just move a little bit closer to us. And she couldn't secure a mortgage. And it wasn't because she didn't have the money, and it wasn't because, she had bad credit. It was because she didn't have her own income. And I was like, uh-oh, big, huge wake-up moment for me, because I was like, okay, my husband is a juvenile diabetic. He is ill. And I kept thinking, this could happen to me. This is reality. I got to be in a position where I can make some income, and I have some income to show. So I ventured online, and I started learning, because I love to learn about internet marketing and social media. And I invested all this time and money into learning how to do all these things. And I started sharing it with other people. And people were like, wow, they were really, really impressed, and they loved it, and they couldn't get enough. So I started making my own courses, and here I am now, 4 years later. And this is a full-time job, full-time opportunity for me, because since I started then, my husband now has gotten much more ill. And within the last year and a half, stopped working, and we had to file for disability for him. So now I am stepping up my game, not only to have this internet and this internet world that I have just become so attached to, really bring in the fruits of everything that I have learned.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that story. And, it's great that, you saw what was happening and you just took action on it. Most people would still dwell on oh my God, I can't do this. What am I going to do? But you're just I'm just going to go and do it because, if it's up to me, right? I forgot what it was, but you know what I mean, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. And it happens, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but one of my very favorite quotes, I know what you were going to come up and ask me, is believe in yourself.
Totally. And I'm just saying, success is your responsibility. That was my thing. So I just kind of blanked out for a bit. So apologize for that. And, what would be your cultural background?
I'm Caucasian. I'm Jewish. I guess that's it. I'm from the Chicago area, and I would say your average American mom and her, I just turned 50, that's really my background.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And since we already covered the favorite self-confidence quote, how would you define in your own words what self-confidence is?
In my own words, I would say that self-confidence is having the belief that you can do whatever you want and that you really realize that happiness is a choice that you can make. So, I believe that to me is the definition of self-confidence.
I love that. And I love how you said that happiness is a choice, because a lot of people forget that, right? They just think, some people wake up on the wrong side of the bed and it's just like it drags throughout the whole day. But really, you can change that in an instant, right? It can be as simple as being thankful that you're alive or someone smiling, right? So I really love that you mentioned that happiness is a choice, which is so true. And, Cindy, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Oh my God, I was the one who woke up with a negative attitude. I was the one that was like, oh my God, oh, my father's sick, my husband's ill, and he had a heart attack, and we're spending a lot of our money, and, it was all just negative. And it was lonely, and I didn't really know what my purpose was. So, it was just kind of, I was like in a bad place before I really had any self-confidence.
Thanks for sharing that. And, what was that aha moment in your life when you realized, you didn't always have to be so negative. You can, change that in an instant. What was that point in your life when you realized that?
Well, it's amazing that people feel that internet relationships are just not real, because I got to tell you, my aha moment came from a group of people that I had connected with online, and we did some activities where we really talked about our self-worth, that we are actually much more valuable than we perceive to be. And when I had that realization that I am worthy and that I have value, it was game on. As that we say, as I would say, beast mode on, it's like this huge breakthrough.
I love it. And I believe that too. I mean, we met on the internet and, we've been, in touch here and there, but we still have a great relationship, because we've known each other through the internet. We've met each other at events. And, I always believe too, the internet's a great way to connect with people, even though some people don't think that. I think the internet's an amazing place to just get to know people, right? Absolutely.
Because I know, Sheena, because I know where we met and I know the relationships and I know the type of person you are, I know that if, I was in this, really, tough situation where I needed to speak to somebody and I happened to look online and I saw the green dot, because you're 4 hours difference, and let's say it was the middle of the night, and I know that I could reach out to you at any moment and be like, Sheena, I need to talk to you. And you would connect with me online and give me that positive boost. And it's about connections like that. And they're strong and they're really powerful.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I can do the same too. If I see you online, I can just say hi. And, if I had a dilemma, I would ask for your advice. And, it's a great way to just be able to feel like you're not alone, right? So, I'm always grateful for that. And, after that realization, what's your life like now?
Oh my God. People are always like, why are you so happy? How I get that all the time. You're so happy, or it will be, my husband is ill and, we'll be downtown and he'll be in the hospital and I'll go outside to the lake and cut this really positive video. And people are like, how could you do that? And I was like, well, I could look at it two ways. I can, look at, and I've just learned to look at everything in two ways. Yes. Am I upset? Am I worried about the health and all that? Yes. But at the same time, I am thrilled that he's in a place where he's getting the best care, that I have the lifestyle that I could be down there and be with him and be able to work and still go outside and shoot a video and connect with my network. I look at those as gifts instead of looking at it in different situations. So I just feel happy. I'm confident. And you know what? I've had a lot of success because of all that. So that's what it's like after, you really, tap into that self-confidence.
For sure. And thanks for sharing that. And don't you think that's such a funny question when people ask you, why are you so happy? I mean, it's like something's wrong if you're too happy, right?
Like, you know, it's like, you know, why? It's like 7 a.m. and here I show up at these wrestling tournaments, bright-eyed, you know, maybe I'm not bright-eyed, whatever, but I'm still like, good morning. I'm always the one to say good morning and smile to people. And they're like, what are you so happy about? I'm like, we woke up. We're here. You know?
Yeah, it's funny, but you know, I guess that still happens. And you know, Cindy, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she's also on her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
My one tip, and it's the hardest thing that I had to do, is I really had to learn to surround myself with the right people. And those people, the people that are going to uplift you and support you. And you could call somebody and you could be like, you know, things are really bad and I don't know how I'm going to make it through this. And they can be like, oh, you know what, I know, I'm feeling it's so hard, life is so tough. And then you could talk to somebody else and be like, you know what, I know life is hard, but look at the good things and look at the positive. And when you make that shift in who you choose to surround yourself with, and you choose to surround yourself with those people who are positive and who are going to uplift you and are going to give you and guide you to be the confident woman you are and that you should be, that choice is yours. And it was a hard choice, and I had to literally separate myself from a group of women who I had really, you know, been hanging out with a long time. Not that I don't like and respect them, but I had to separate myself with them while I was developing my own self-confidence.
And that's a great tip. I also believe surrounding yourself with, you know, uplifting people makes a huge difference, right? So
huge.
Great tip. And Cindy, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or any social media profiles we can connect with?
Oh my God. I'm all over social media. Okay. And you can find me, my Facebook profile is absolutely open. You can find me at, you know, Cindy Bloom, and I believe it's Cindy.Bloom.98. I couldn't get Cindy Bloom for some reason, so it's Cindy.Bloom.98. And you can also go to my website. I offer a ton of free value, a ton of, you know, free tips and stuff, and that is bloomingmarketers.com. Because that's me. I'm always blooming, and I want other people to bloom as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Cindy's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really want to thank Cindy for taking this time to share her story with us. So, Cindy, thank you so much.
Sheena, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for having this podcast. And thank you so much for reaching out to me and giving me the opportunity to be on this show. It's been a pleasure and an honor. Always love chatting with you.
Not a problem. And it's an honor to have you on, Cindy. So, you know, I'm just really grateful. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us at the Tao of Self-Confidence. Head over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com for full recaps of every show, our amazing blog articles and resources, and just plain fun. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits, so start today.